Hey everybody, this is Rick, and welcome back to my Devorg. I did another project here, and it is another job search app, but the last one was highly customized. I wanted to explore the limits of what I could and couldn't do. I did not use leads in that org, and the goal of this project was to build a Salesforce org from scratch using out-of-the-box Salesforce features. And so the idea was to integrate job seeking functionality while minimizing customizations and leverage more of your standard Salesforce objects for a scalable solution. So the first thing I did was I signed up for a free Tableau CRM Salesforce Devorg. And this org is different from your normal dev org that you get free from Salesforce because it provides three Salesforce licenses along with some, pre-installed apps and data, which I adjusted to fit my needs. So the first thing that I did was I went to service setup and I selected delete sample data to clear unnecessary records. And then that brought up my organization's used space down to 70%. So that was still having a lot of space used up. So I went in and I confirmed that I had CRED permissions for the acquired accounts custom object, which this dev org came filled with, to the brim, filled with data. And so I basically confirmed that these records could be deleted, and then I used the developer console to run a query and then delete all of the acquired accounts. Um, and that's reduced my used data down to 27%. You'll see here it's 32% right now, but that's after I did all of my configuration following that. So bringing it down to 27% was good enough to hit the ground running and get things going to my needs. So the thing I did after that was a lot of the data that was included with this dev org was not going to be needed. So I needed data that I was going to be able to use. So I uploaded a CSV file, as you see here, fake Fortune 500 accounts, and these are basically accounts that where I would be able to map fields such as CEO name and CEO title. And I populated my org with a lot of relevant data that I could use throughout a job seeking process. If this was a real org with a real organization. So the next thing to do was I was going to customize the lead object because that was one of the out-of-the-box functions that I really wanted to work with on this project. So I created new lead processes for four job types: permanent, contract, consulting, and recruiter. And then I made record types and matching page layouts to correspond with each one, so that and then made custom fields for each one of these so that we could distinguish between each type. For example, we have salary maximum and minimum that would go for a permanent job versus hourly rate for a contract lead. So that made sure that I was going to be able to customize each lead type for the job opportunity that was at hand. Doing that, I was going to need to make sure that everything, flowed over to an opportunity when I converted. So I mapped the fields to the opportunities. So you can see here, there's a bunch of custom fields here for my leads for job hunting, such as 401k percentage match, bonus percentage, whether there's certifications or degrees required, whether it's full-time or part-time. These are check boxes. Um, there's paid time off, and as you see, a lot of these we have just matched up to their fields that I also placed on the opportunity record, and then map them up so that they would flow over when I convert them. So the next thing I did was to ensure consistency across objects. I created multiple record types for accounts, contacts, and opportunities. So you can see here client, customer, recruiter for record types. That's for contacts, opportunities, consulting, contract, permanent. So these all would be customized for those types of job opportunities, and then I had made separate sales processes for each one just to make sure that for different job types, they would flow in the correct order with the correct steps. And each one of these was given their own page layout, to suit its unique needs. And then, of course, we wanted to make sure that history tracking was in place so that I could track important field changes. And I picked which ones were going to be suitable for someone who was running in an org that is designed for job hunting. And that was it for the opportunity objects. So the thing to do after that was to create some Lightning apps. So the first one I made was called Jobs. And let's open that up here. You can see it's applications to manage my job leads and opportunities. And in this app, I made sure to, just customize it to the appropriate degree, give it the right image and color to go with that theme. It has its own special navigation items, and it's assigned in this case just to two profiles, the system administrator and the standard user, because that's all this sample org is going to have. So once I established the app, I went and made let's go here to, there we go. So on the Jobs app, it comes, anytime an app is created, it'll come with a standard list view. So it'll usually be recently viewed. So I made sure that for all of my apps that I created, that the list views were going to be customized to the things that were going to be needed for a user on an app like this. So these are the fields that that person is going to want to see. And they're going to, need to see all contacts that equal recruiters for the recruiter list view. And then we can make other list views for, different job types as we need them. Okay, all right. So then after making the Jobs app, I went ahead and went through and did the Resumes app, and we call that Resume Management. And as you can see here, we have certain data here, but I'll get to that in just a moment. But the Resumes app includes a junction object called the boom, boom. Where's the junction object? There we are. Uh, there we are. Resume submission. Resume submission allows for many-to-many relationships between resumes and opportunities, which makes it possible to track multiple resume versions per job application. And as you can see here, this is the resume submission custom object. However, this is hidden during the user process when somebody is, viewing the object and viewing the records, because as a junction object, it doesn't need to be viewed. And then after setting up the whole foundation for, for what's going to happen underlying and all the different type of record types and page layouts I was going to need, I wanted to make sure that we had a good user experience on here. So I wanted to make some dashboards and home pages, which the first thing that we need is reports for that. So I made reports for activities, contacts, job leads, job opportunities, and resumes. And so these provided job seekers with quick access to relevant data and summaries. And once I had those reports, then we put them into dashboards. Three different apps: jobs, resume management, and recruiter management. So three different dashboards. Let's just take a look at the jobs home. And you can see how that one is laid out. Very simple. Not too complicated. We can refresh it if we need, but ultimately, when we finished making the reports and the dashboards, then they were assigned to each of the apps. So for jobs, we have a nice friendly heading here. We have the dashboard that is relevant, and then various links to items that that person is going to need. Same thing with resume management. make a great impression with your resume, relevant dashboard and links, and then recruiter management as well. Welcome to Recruiter HQ. And we have a lot of activities to do, so we better get going on this and hunt for those jobs. And then we move on to the interview stage. So I guess that's how the next app I should make is for interviews. What do you think, gang? So the developer org that I made here, I think that I really did a good job here of leveraging standard Salesforce functionality for the job seeking process. Um, I utilize record types, lead processes, and even some custom objects. So I did some customization on here. Couldn't help myself to empower users to track multiple job applications and versions of their resumes with ease. So I hope that this was as interesting for you as it was for me. And if please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or comments. Thanks a lot.